Okay, so here are the materials we're going to need to make our printing plate for our radially symmetric design. The first thing you're going to start with is a piece of paper, which is 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches, okay? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is and you guys should be used to this because we did it with the background, I'm going to fold one corner to another corner, okay? So I'm going to end up with a triangle. And I'm going to put that in front of me. I'm right-handed. Probably if you're left-handed too, though, you'll put it this way. So the fold is on the left, the point is pointing to the right, okay? I'm going to use my pencil and I'm going to draw some lines that are kind of curved. And this is going to be part of my design. So I'm basically kind of splitting it up into sections, okay? So that looks like this. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is in each of these little sections, I'm going to do some different kind of design. So to make my designs, gentlemen, to make my designs, I'm going to be drawing shapes or lines or whatever I want to do. So on this first section, I think I'm going to just draw 2 circles and a line, okay? Give me a shape.
Triangle.
Okay, so this one maybe I'm gonna do some triangles across it. And then maybe I want triangles going the other way on the bottom. You don't want your designs to be too close to each other. You want to spread it out a little bit, okay? On this one, maybe I'm going to do a zigzag line. And then in these little lines, I'm going to do squares. The design is totally up to you. It's what you want to make as your design. Okay, this one I think I'm going to do some X's that are connected. I think it's a little trickier when you get down here. Okay, here maybe I'm just going to do some different circles. And I'm just making quick designs. You can make it as detailed as you want, but again, you don't want things too close together. And here I'm just going to do more curved lines. All right. Now, I want this to be symmetrical on the other side. So the easiest way to do that is not to look at it and try to copy it. The easiest way to do that is I'm going to first trace all my lines with a Sharpie. If you get some on the table, we'll clean it up later. You can also keep a scrap piece of paper underneath, because when you do these lines, you do kind of go off the paper a little bit. Oh, I hate that noise. So I'm tracing every line with the Sharpie. And you're probably wondering, why in the world am I doing that? But it's going to help me make this symmetrical. So let me just get through these lines real quick. I am obviously working very quickly. I'm not being as careful as I could while you guys are doing your designs. I want you, really being careful. All right. So now since I've traced this, please make sure you're facing me. That's where the directions are going on. Now that I've traced this with Sharpie, I can actually see my design through the other side. Okay? And if you have a hard time seeing it, we do have the two tracing lights. But I'm going to try to see those lines underneath. And I'm just tracing it through. So this project does have a lot of retracing your lines, but it's going to give us a really cool effect when we're done. Sorry, I know watching me trace lines is not the most exciting thing. And that one's hard. And if it's hard to see, you can even just kind of hold it up and you can see it a little better. But if you use the tracing lights, I just need you to take turns, be patient with each other. All right, we're getting there. I might have done one of those a little wrong. Almost done. All right, just got these last. And again, I was not doing my most careful work. Okay, I should not see the back of your head again. All right. Now when I unfold this, I have a symmetrical design. It's the same on both sides. All right. So my next step is I am going to take this design and I'm going to have a little piece of foam that's the same size. Oops, I forgot I was going to need tape. I'm going to put a piece of tape holding it on the top and a piece of tape holding it on the bottom. If your tape goes over your lines, it's okay. All right. Now this piece of paper, once I get done with the styrofoam, I'm not going to need this anymore. So if it rips or something while you're doing this, it's okay. So my next step is I'm going to use an ink pen. I'm going to make sure it works. And once again, I'm going to trace all my lines. While I'm tracing them, I want to push kind of hard. Okay, and I'm just tracing the lines, and I can feel my paper ripping a little bit. That's okay. I'm not going to need this paper anymore once I'm done. So when I do that, what I end up with is you can see it leaves an indent where I traced all my lines, right? But I want that indent to be nice and deep so that I know when I put the ink on, the ink isn't going to get in those lines. So one last time, after I finish tracing it all, I'm going to take my paper off, throw it away. Then I'm going to use my ink pen, and again, I'm going to go where the indents are, and I'm going to push hard with an ink pen and trace those. And that's going to make my lines nice and deep so that when I'm adding the ink, it's not going to get in those lines. And so when I print, everything that's not pushed in is going to print with the black, but all my lines are going to print white. Okay? All right, you may turn that off, ma'am.